Hello all, from Rabbitbunvoo at www.modelrailwayreviews.com. Today we'll be looking at Hornby's Railroad Range 9F Evening Star, number 92220, the last steam locomotive built for British Railways in 1960. So, before we begin, a bit of background behind Evening Star and the 9F class. So yes, Evening Star was a member of the 9F class, which was built by British Railways as a heavy mineral pulling train, and it was one of the most powerful steam engine designs ever built in Britain, with a 2-10-0 wheel arrangement. This wheel arrangement meant they had a tractive effort of something around 39,000 pounds of force, so they were more than up to pulling those heavy mineral trains. And Evening Star was the last one to be built in Swindon Works in March 1960, and all the other 9Fs were black with no names, and Evening Star, being the last member of the 9F class and indeed the last ever steam locomotive to be built for British Railways, they thought they'd do something special, so they went out on the BR green colour and gave her the name Evening Star in commemoration of the GWR giving an early locomotive the name Morning Star, thereby fulfilling the sort of railway era, they thought. And also a copper cap chimney, and finished in sort of GWR numbering style. Here's a picture of Evening Star outside the National Railway Museum shortly after being preserved. Now, while they were supposed to be freight locomotives, they were also, well, in the case of Evening Star, used for some passenger roles. So she was considered possible to be used as a passenger locomotive, and indeed they were very fast locomotives despite their wheel configuration. So Evening Star often pulls passenger trains in preservation. So, now that we know a bit of background behind Evening Star, we'll take a look at the actual detail of the model. We'll start with the front. Now, it's worth noting that this is a Hornby Railroad Range model, effectively a budget price model for beginners. So, despite that, sprung buffers. Yes, sprung buffers. A neat coupling hook, vacuum brake pipe, superb detail on the front, clearly printed nameplate, copper cap chimney, beautiful gearing here, really nicely finished, a load of pipe work up here, and even a really nicely finished cab with the windows set nicely and a lot of detail inside that's been painted on this model, but it is there to paint, is the idea. Note that a lot of this has been painted, this grey detail. It was silver actually, but the gold pipes here. But the thing is, it's there to be painted and it's very easy to paint, so it's worth commending it for that. So that's the front. The tender has this nice detail on there, not exactly standout detail, but it's extensive enough to be nicely viewed from when it's going along. Good back of tender, I'd say, very good back of tender, with handrails and a ladder and a vacuum brake here. There's another nice coupling, more sprung buffers, and lots of nice standout detail here, even undercarriage detail. Not underneath, but that's not essential. What it is worth noting is that, again, it's a push fit coupling, like many from Hornby, where the two connecting copper strips connect with the tender to have pickups. That's very smooth pickup wise, which leads us nicely on to performance. So, now on to the performance of Evening Star. Will this be her undoing or shining point? Let's switch her on and see. And as you can see there, that's a very smooth start from Evening Star, and that's in no part helped her 5-pole skew-wound motor. Now that is amazing considering she's part of the railroad range. These really are good motors, and look how smoothly she goes. Those tender pickups working well. Evening Star really has quite some speed on her, and that's an amazing speed. Quite unrealistic, but good fun, especially when you're a beginner. No problems reversing any of those tricky point systems either. So, she's smooth, she's fast, but what about Evening Star's pulling power? It's time time to put it to the test. Another very smooth start there, and I'm happy to say that Hornby have not let down the 9F reputation, being incredibly powerful freight trains. Evening Star's just having no trouble with that heavy train. These really are one of the most powerful model trains there are. With all that power, even a steep gradient would be no trouble for Evening Star, so she is worth consideration for that. And again, being Evening Star means she can do any sort of job. That's heavy freight, light freight, shunting, or even this passenger role. So, now that we've looked at detail and appearance, performance and versatility of Hornby's Railroad 9F Evening Star, let's look at how it compares up for value for money. Now, even from Hornby, this model is incredibly good value. It comes with sprung buffers, brilliant detail, a 5-pole skew-wound motor which makes it incredibly smooth, incredible pulling power and speed if it's needed, and the asking price is particularly low for that, amazingly low. This really should be in their main range. Fantastic detail, fantastic performance, fantastic versatility and fantastic value for money. These engines are great. She can perform so many roles and looks fantastic, performs fantastically with minimal problems, if any. So, that's yet another fantastic model from Rabbitbunvoo on www.modelrailreviews.com. And thank you very much for watching this, and do consider Evening Star for your own layouts because she really is worth a buy. I do mean that. So thank you very much for watching. Bye now.